the Anbar province, the scene of the most deadly fighting during the Iraq War. And now the people of Fallujah, Iraq, are accusing the government of crimes against humanity. Over 600 civilians have been wounded and about 100 killed as a result of alleged indiscriminate shelling of the city since the Iraqi government started shelling Fallujah in January 2014. The shelling began after the Iraqi government lost control of Fallujah to al-Qaeda and rebel fighters. According to the United Nations, more than 30,000 families have fled the area in the past 2 weeks, but tens of thousands are trapped in the crossfire. It was 10 years ago that the people of Fallujah fled their homes when U.S. forces pushed into the city during the second siege of Fallujah. This marked the bloodiest urban battle since the Vietnam War and the first time the U.S. military fought primarily against insurgents rather than Iraqi government forces. This crucial area is located just 35 miles from the capital city of Baghdad. When families returned home after the siege 10 years ago, they found their neighborhoods decimated. Thousands of buildings were destroyed. Now the citizens of Fallujah are in their second exodus. Most refugees have gone to the Sunni region of Samarra. Others are in the Shiite holy city of Karbala. The UN has been providing aid to those affected by the fighting in Anbar, despite the challenges posed by the deteriorating security environment. However, supplies are scarce and sleeping quarters are getting cramped. But for those who remain in Fallujah, the situation is even more dire. According to a Congressional Research Service report, the U.S. and Russia have provided $30 billion worth of military weapons and training to Iraq. Maliki's forces have sealed off and shelled the city. Out of fear for the safety of its drivers, UN agencies have stopped aid shipment, and the military is blocking entrances to the city. Here's a young boy being treated with shrapnel in his back at a hospital in Fallujah. According to local sources, Maliki's forces are dropping shells indiscriminately all over Fallujah. There are reports of civilian homes, mosques, and even the general hospital hit with artillery shells. The Conservation Center of Environmental and Reserves in Fallujah told Truth Out he believes the Iraqi government is carrying out crimes against humanity and filed a report with the International Criminal Court. But the Iraqi Prime Minister says he warned Fallujah residents to expel al-Qaeda fighters or face a military assault. Maliki is a Shiite Muslim and has little support in this Sunni-dominated region. But it's the Sunni leader, Saleh al-Mutlaq, who said Iraq followed U.S. advice in the crisis by keeping most of its forces out of Ramadi and Fallujah, allowing local tribes to push al-Qaeda militants out of the two cities. When the U.S. pulled out of Iraq in 2011, President Obama handed the military reins back to Iraq. But now, the security situation has deteriorated, making 2013 the deadliest year in the country since the war. In Washington, D.C., Perry Ann Boring, RT.